Alrighty, so I haven't decided what I'm going to entitle this particular episode, um, but it'll be one of two choices, either no exit strategy or it's in the bag. And you'll find out in just a moment why those are my two choices. So, make sure all of my stuff is doing what it's supposed to do. So, no exit strategy. Why I would choose that name? Because, well, before I get into it, let me thank you once again for being here with me, joining me for the Caregivers podcast, the Caregivers Crash podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you who take the time to uh, go to the platforms, download, listen, watch, whatever it is, however it is you partake of the podcast. I appreciate you. I truly, truly do. Um, so, why I would call this episode No Exit Strategy is because the other day, about 2 days ago, today's Friday, so yeah, about Wednesday, the husband woke me up to tell me, well, no. So for dinner, we had a very simple dinner, sandwiches, chips, and something to drink. Well, after we finished our sandwiches and our chips, I stayed up for a little bit to get some stuff done, to kind of veg out a little bit. And then the husband decided that he was going to go lay down. So he did. And I'm up, you know, doing whatever. And then it had to have been Tuesday night that this was going on because I remembered that I had to take the dog to the vet Wednesday morning. So about 10:30, I was like, you know what? I need to, and if you heard that noise, that was the dog. I need to go ahead and get in the bed because I've got to take her to the vet in the morning and I need to be fully rested because my routine is going to be slightly different and I need to make certain that I'm able to get up and move around the way that I need to in the morning. So this is keeping in mind that I did not get great rest Monday night because the husband was in a whole lot of pain in the back. And so Tuesday night, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get in the bed. And I start my nighttime routine. And in the midst of that routine, the husband asks me to fix him another sandwich. And I'm like, seriously? You want another sandwich? Yeah, I want another sandwich. So says, you know, you don't have any enemas. Your belly is already full. And your back is already hurting. So I don't want to hear that, you know, your stomach is hurting on top of your back hurting. I don't want to hear that. I'm good on hearing that. I don't need to hear that. And I'm saying this because you already know that that's what this is going to lead to if you have another sandwich. No, I'll be all right. I just go ahead and make a sandwich. Okay. So I do that. I make him a sandwich, and I just made the sandwich. He turns around and has chips and another drink. Why? Why torture us like that? Just why? So we go to bed, and about 3 in the morning, he wakes me moaning, and he's just extra loud with it. He is an absolute drama-filled person. He's so dramatic. And it's not that I don't doubt that he has the discomfort or he has the pain. It's not that I don't doubt. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I know that that is true. But what should be maybe a 3 or 4 on the noise level, ends up being a 10 or 12 because he has to be so extra and dramatic about it. And some may say, well, why are you, saying that about your husband? It's your husband. It's my husband. I know. I have witnessed him purposely being extra for the attention. I've watched it. I've watched him do it with others, and I've laid back and watched him do it with me, him not realizing that I was already awake and I was observing everything that he was doing. So it gets up there, it gets pretty high, he's pretty loud, and then I say, then he wakes me up. And I say, what? And he shows me his stomach and the fact that it's really very distended. And pardon me, it's uncomfortable. And I'll tell you why I just yawned like that in just a moment. It's uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, what you want me to do about it? We knew that this was going to happen. You knew that this was a possibility. You knew that if you had that other sandwich, that this was going to happen. I said to you, this is going to happen, and I don't want you waking me up talking about how much discomfort you're in because you ate something that you really didn't need to. She's marching around, wondering if she's gotten to use the bathroom. I'm sorry. But anyway, so he fixes his mouth to say, I need to go to the ER. And no. Not for this. No, we're not. For what? Never mind. Just never mind. You just don't understand. Never mind. No, I do understand. And that's the issue. I understand what you're doing. I get it. So he goes to bed and, still the huffing and the puffing and the, So I get up and I go to the bathroom. And he, I guess it's taking me too long to come out of the bathroom. So he goes into the kitchen just to kind of see where I am. Now, the other bathroom is on the opposite side of the kitchen. And he realizes I'm in the bathroom. But in the meantime, he's also getting another drink. So he goes back into the main bedroom, and one sec. Okay, I had to pause for a sec because he was out in the kitchen. And as you know, I like to do these in private. If the dog didn't have to be in here, she wouldn't be in here. So he comes out, gets some more liquid, goes back into the bedroom. I come out of the bathroom and I go into the other bedroom and I lay down. And I'm sleep maybe 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And he comes into the kitchen again to see where I am and gets another drink. He figures out I'm in the other bedroom. He doesn't open the door. He just figures out I'm in the other bedroom. So he gets another drink, goes back into the master. And then he comes back out about 4 and does it again. Gets another drink, making sure where I am. And then he goes back into the bedroom. So at this point now, he's had 3 additional glasses of liquid on top of what he's already had. So his belly is already sitting out, stretched and uncomfortable, and he's got 3 additional glasses of liquid. So about 4:30, he wakes me up to show me that his stomach is sitting out even more and that he's even more uncomfortable. And I'm like, fine. I get up, I get dressed, I go to Walgreens, I get him an enema, I come back home. Now, before I walk out the door, he says to me, wait for me. No, because at this point now I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed because I didn't sleep well Monday night. I'm not sleeping well tonight. I told you not to do this. You did it anyway. I knew the outcome. You knew the outcome, and you did it anyway. So now I got to get up out of the bed, even though I still have to go to work. Go to Walgreens, which is not nearby. The 24-hour Walgreens is not nearby. Get you some enemas, come back home, and get myself together to go to work. So he wants to go. Nope, you cannot go. Then tells me that I'm doing something stupid. Now I'm just acting stupid. Okay. I get in a car. I go. I come back. And I tell him, the next time you want to say that somebody is acting stupid, think about the fact that you sat here and ate a whole second meal, overstuffed yourself, and drank 3 additional glasses of tea. But I'm doing something stupid. And then I get up and I go to work. There was no point to me going back to bed. No point whatsoever for me to go back to bed. So I stayed up and did what I needed to do. Got the dog to her vet appointment, went to work, left work, ran some errands, got the vehicle washed, vacuumed it out, purchased some things I needed to purchase for him, picked the dog up, and I came home. And still did not go to bed until 10:30 that night. So now we're at Wednesday. And when I say now we're at Wednesday, because after I picked up the dog, came home, ate dinner, made sure the dog was situated because she's still drunk from her procedure, and in pain and pitiful looking. So I'm taking care of her. And the husband's medicine, some of his prescriptions have come in. And one of his prescriptions was meds for his pain. So I give him his shot. I give him his 2 pills for the pain. He knocks out. At 10:30, I go to bed. That was the best night's sleep that we've had in I don't know how long. He slept the entire night. But I didn't sleep in the bed with him because when I got up to get in the bed, he is laying in the middle of the bed with one leg bent. And he's not laying top to bottom. He's lying side to side because that's how he's been laying in the bed sleep. So I have to go get in the other bed once again, where I had intended on sleeping in my bed, our bed. Couldn't do it. So that portion is called no exit strategy because he overate, overdrank, and couldn't get rid of it naturally. Now, it's in the bag. It's because we just got home literally at about 6:30, 6:40, somewhere in there. We had been in the ER since 1 this morning. He woke me up at midnight to tell me that he felt something pop in his back and he was in a lot of pain. So I get up. I get him to the hospital. They see no bulging discs, no nerves being pinched, no anything that would have caused all of the pain. However, they do see a bladder full of waste. So he jokes and says, they normally tell me I'm full of crap, and now they're telling me I'm full of urine or full of pee. Yep, yep. And when the doctor came in there to tell us that that's what he saw, the husband had already used the bathroom. But what he expelled, and I know this is TMI for some people, but what he expelled was nothing compared to what they said they saw in there. So they suggest he get a catheter. I tell the doctor, explain to him how that works. I know how it works because I've had a catheter. I know the discomfort that comes along with inserting and then wearing a catheter for a decent amount of time. I've had 2 or 3 at this point in my life. So I know what they feel like. And the doctor explains to him what it is all about and how they get it in and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And oh my gosh. But the doctor's like, you have all of this urine in your body, and we want to see if that is what's causing your back pain. We want to see. Now, at this point, they've given him 2 pain meds plus a pain patch to relieve the pain. And after his 2 CT scans and his x-ray, he said that he was still in a lot of pain. So he agreed to go ahead and let them do the catheter. It took him probably 10 minutes to let her actually get started. He yelled and screamed the entire time, although a good portion of the time that he was yelling and screaming, she hadn't even put the thing in. So he wasn't even feeling any pain. It was all in his head. And she was struggling to get it in. And if you don't know how a catheter is inserted, especially in the men, go look it up. I'm not going to go into great detail. Just know where the pee comes out is where the catheter is going. And it's a long, long tube that they have to insert. So she's trying to hold on to him and insert the catheter, but because of the solution that they've used to numb him up, it makes it very difficult for her to get a good grasp. And then on top of that, there's some kind of blockage on the inside, so every time she would get to a certain point, it would stop her. It would stop her. So she'd have to pull out and stop. So it took her a while before she could actually get the tube in. But at some point in time, she was just holding him and holding the tube, and he's yelling. That she's not putting the tube in. She's just holding him and holding the tube, and he's screaming. What are you screaming for, sir? She's not even inserting the tube, but he's screaming. So she finally gets it in, and she finally breaks through the barrier that was stopping her. And of course, he yelled out in agony during that. And then it gets worse, and I'm trying to get him to breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Concentrate on your breathing and not the discomfort, and it'll make it easier. That's easy for you to say. This is what he's saying to someone who's given birth naturally 3 times. Just some not so little babies. No drugs. Labored anywhere from 3 hours to 12 hours before actually pushing the baby out without drugs. And you're telling me that's easy for you to say as you have a catheter inserted. So I've given birth 3 times naturally, and I've had 2 to 3 catheters. And the only reason why I'm hesitating or bouncing back and forth between 2 to 3 is because I remember 2 times distinctly, but I really think that there was a 3rd time with one of the pregnancies. One was with a pregnancy, one was after one of my surgeries, and I think that the other one that I'm vaguely remembering is with one of the pregnancies as well. But he says to me, that's easy for you to say. Telling me to calm down. Dude, I know it's uncomfortable, but you need to concentrate on your breathing, because if you concentrate on your breathing, it alleviates a little bit of the pain, because now you're not so tense, you're more relaxed. The tube isn't facing so much resistance. So she gets it in, and it takes her a little while to get it in just because I guess his urethra was a lot longer. So she has to put almost the entire tube in before she actually starts seeing the urine. So she finally does. And he's yelling the whole time, how much more? How much longer? Oh. I really did want to laugh at him, but I was trying to be okay, calm, keep him calm, so I did not laugh. This little dog is chewing on his box. So finally it's in, and when I tell you that bag started filling up so fast, and when the doctor came back in there, when the nurse came back in there after taking it out, or after putting it in, she comes back and she's like, wow, that much already. So what he had gotten rid of on his own was like 100 milliliters, I think she said. But with the catheter in a very short amount of time, he was already at 600. An hour later, the doctor came in, and at that point, he was at about 700. By the time we left there, he was just over 700. And the only reason it was just over 700 is because we did start putting his clothes back on him, and it kind of adjusted the tube so that the urine wasn't flowing through the way that it needed to. So, now, like I said, we got to the ER about 1 o'clock. We didn't get home until about 6:25, 6:30, somewhere in there. I'm still going to work. I still have to shower, get dressed, eat, make sure this dog eats so that she can take her medicine, and then I'm going to work. Am I going to work a full day? No. And today is one of my full days, but I'm not going to work a full day today. I don't have it in me. As a matter of fact, I'm turning in my resignation today. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break before I go into something else. And while I'm taking that break, I'm going to concentrate on the podcast, the vlog. I'm going to blog. I'm going to probably blog some more, get my blogging back into gear, and just concentrate on the things that are going to move me forward. My quarterly meeting is coming up soon. So I'm going to concentrate on getting all of that material together. I've started the advertisements for it. By the time that this episode comes out, all of that will have happened because this is episode 5 of 8. So, yeah, by the time this all happens, that'll be done. That'll be done. And I'll be in a new gig at that point. But yeah. Yeah. So, no exit strategy, or it's in the bag. We'll find out together what I decide to name this. Crazy. How am I doing? I'm not doing. I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to not allow myself to get sick. So I've started back up my vitamin regimen, but I'm doing better than I have done the last few episodes. We've gone past the month mark since my dad's been gone, and we're coming up on the month mark of my sister being gone. We still have a couple of weeks for that, though. Well, yeah, we got a couple of weeks for that. A week and some days. But yeah, that's how I'm doing. I'm okay, but not okay. That means that I'm getting a little bit better, but I'm still, But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you so much, and I do mean that. That's why I say it so much, because I do truly mean that I appreciate you listening or watching the Caregivers Crash podcast.